Hey everyone, this is question 1 of the multiple choice section in the 2017 Software Development exam. So this question was done well on the exam, so I won't spend too much time on it. I've just got a few notes down here, just explaining to you what you need to know to answer this question correctly. So when we say a functional requirement, um, think of this as something where if you don't meet this requirement, then it's not a database. So things like if it's low price, if it's a high price piece of software, it can still be a database. It's just really expensive. And non-functional. So non-functional requirements, even if you don't meet this requirement, it's still considered a database. So it might annoy your boss or whoever you're making this piece of software for if you don't meet it, but it is still considered a database if you don't meet it. So we'll just go through each of these choices that we could go through. So low price. I mentioned before, low price, even if it was a high costing piece of software, it would still be considered a database, just a really expensive one. So that one's a non-functional requirement. We're looking for functional requirements in this question. Right, so B, open source. So open source, still closed source, you can still have either one for a database. So an open source database and a closed source database are still considered databases. So that one's still a non-functional requirement. Maintainability. So maintainability refers to how easy it is for a programmer to fix a bug or add a new feature to that database after it has been released. So you can have poor maintainability on a database, it would just be a really poorly maintained database. So it's still considered a database even with good or bad maintainability. So that one's once again a non-functional requirement. So this leaves us with the last choice, search for a record on a file, which by process of elimination that is the answer. I'll just briefly explain why. So if you can't search for anything in a database, that's not really considered a database. So this is something that a database will do, and it's its function. So you need to be able to search for a record in a database for it to be considered a database solution.